American homeowners in their 50s and 60s just got a $6,000 fence quote this summer, and it starts losing value today. Not because you missed something, because no contractor was ever going to tell you these 12 perennials never stop compounding. Before plant number 1, drop your state right now, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Find yours and pay attention. And the one at number 12 kept off every mainstream shelf since serious growers stopped talking publicly. Listen carefully. Plant number 1, Miscanthus grass. A $30 ornamental grass that quietly outperforms a $6,000 wood fence before its second full growing season is even finished, and it never sends you another invoice. Picture silver plumes catching a cool autumn wind, glowing amber against late daylight, standing 8 feet tall and swaying in a dense wall exactly where your fence line would have gone, moving in a way no plank of wood ever will. Zones 4 through 9, full sun, well-drained soil. Missouri Botanical Garden documents these plumes shifting silver to amber to bronze, a screen that changes monthly. That same research confirms seed heads persist through snow. So this screen never goes bare like a fence panel, never changes. One $30 plant reaches 8 feet by year 2. 5 plants replace 150 feet of costly fencing. Most homeowners plant miscanthus too close together, crowding roots and stunting the 8-foot height the screen needs. That spacing mistake leaves a 3-year planting stuck at 4 feet, with the fence bill still due. 5 clumps and 150 feet of privacy stand where a fence estimate once stood. But height alone is not the full secret. One grass on this list changes color every single month and holds that color through winter. Drop your state below because your zone decides exactly how fast that screen fills in. And somewhere in this video is the story of a homeowner in Illinois who got a $7,000 fence quote and planted perennials instead. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, Plume Poppy, a $24 perennial that grows tropical, looking bronze leaves the size of dinner plates on stalks, reaching 8 feet, something no fence panel has ever managed to look like. Picture broad glaucous leaves catching afternoon sun. Feathery plume flowers rising above them, forming a dense jungle, like wall exactly where a plain wood panel would have stood instead. Zones 3 through 8, full sun to part shade, moist soil. USDA Plants database confirms plume poppy spreads through underground runners, permanently filling privacy gaps a fence panel could never patch itself. That same spreading habit means one $24 plant becomes a continuous screen without buying a single additional plant. Compare that to fence repair bills averaging $400 per damaged section every few years. Most homeowners plant it near small perennials, unaware of allelopathic compounds that suppress neighboring growth. That mistake stunts nearby plants permanently. So this screen needs 4 feet of open space to thrive alone. One plant became a permanent colony without one extra dollar spent, filling every gap a repaired fence panel could never hold shut for long. But height is about to change entirely. The next plant on this list reaches 10 feet tall and feeds a butterfly migration most homeowners never realize passes directly through their own backyard every fall. Plant number 3, Maximilian Sunflower, a $20 perennial that builds a 10-foot golden wall no fence installer has ever been licensed to construct, and it self-seeds into a wider screen every single year. Picture hundreds of golden blooms stacked along towering stalks, monarch butterflies stopping to feed mid-migration, forming a living privacy wall that grows taller and wider with zero additional cost. Zones 3 through 9. Full sun, lean, dry soil. USDA Plants database confirms Maximilian Sunflower serves as a documented fuel station for monarch butterflies during fall migration. A wildlife value zero fence panel provides. That same database confirms the plant self seeds freely, expanding your privacy screen every season at no additional cost. One $20 plant becomes dozens within 3 years, replacing what would cost thousands in fence panels. Most homeowners plant it in rich garden soil, unaware the stalk grows to 12 feet and topples over. That mistake collapses the screen entirely, so lean, dry soil keeps it upright at 10 feet. 10 feet tall, self-seeding wider every single year, feeding a butterfly migration that a $6,000 fence could never support in any way. Have you ever grown something tall enough to double as both privacy screen and wildlife way station? Not in a pot, not a greenhouse, but directly in your own backyard. Plant number 4, Northern Sea Oats, the one privacy grass that does something no fence can, turning copper bronze in autumn and holding that color straight through winter, a screen that looks different and more beautiful every single season of the year. Picture flat oat-like seed clusters catching low autumn light, rattling softly in a breeze, filling the exact dark fence line where sun-loving grasses fail to grow at all. Zones 3 through 8, parched shade, moist soil. University of Georgia Extension confirms Northern Sea Oats tolerates deep shade where other privacy grasses fail entirely. Filling the darkest corners of a yard of fence still costs full price to cover. That same research confirms itself. Seeds reliably in shade, expanding the screen without another dollar spent. One $20 plant becomes a full shaded colony within 3 seasons at zero extra cost. Most homeowners in zones 6 through 9 plant it in full sun, and the foliage bleaches out entirely. That mistake ruins the color, so afternoon shade is required to keep the bronze true. The one shaded corner, your fence quote, still charged, full price, for now fills itself in permanently, season after season, at zero extra dollar cost. But the next plant on this list does something none of these have done yet. It towers a full 7 feet tall, clears standard fence height entirely, and feeds goldfinches straight through the coldest months of winter. Plant number 5, giant coneflower, a $22 perennial that clears standard fence height entirely at 7 feet tall, something a 6-foot privacy panel was never built to do. Picture broad blue-green leaves rising into towering stalks, tipped with golden 3-inch cones, goldfinches perched feeding directly on the same stems that screen your yard all summer long. Zones 5 through 9. Full sun moist soil. North Carolina State University Extension confirms giant coneflower seed heads persist upright through winter, feeding goldfinches for months after a fence has nothing left to offer. That same documented structure means one plant delivers both a summer privacy wall and a winter wildlife feeder from identical stems. A $22 perennial replaces privacy value. A fence panel charges hundreds per linear foot to provide. Most homeowners divide it too soon, expecting instant height. That mistake resets growth entirely, since full 7-foot screening height takes 3 full years to reach. 3 full years to reach 7 feet, and from that point forward, it keeps feeding birds every single winter in a way no fence panel could ever manage on its own. Did you honestly believe a privacy plant stops earning its place the moment the growing season ends for the year? Be completely honest with yourself in the comments below right now. Plant number 6, elderberry, a $28 shrub that reaches 12 feet tall and produces berries. A farmer's market pays $5 a pound for, something no fence panel has ever earned you back. Picture white lace-capped flower clusters cascading across dense summer foliage, forming a living wall taller than any standard fence. Zones 3 through 9, full sun to part shade moist soil. USDA Plants Database confirms elderberry reaches 12 feet by year 3, taller than any standard privacy fence ever built. That same documentation confirms the berries carry real market value, with elderflower cordial selling for $8 to $12 a bottle at farmers markets. One $28 shrub becomes a privacy wall that pays you back every single season. Most homeowners plant a single shrub, unaware elderberry needs a second variety for cross-pollination. That mistake produces flowers with zero fruit, wasting the entire income opportunity. 2 shrubs, properly cross-pollinated, and this wall pays you back in berries every single season in a way a fence panel never could manage on its own. Earlier, at the start of this video, I mentioned a homeowner who chose plants over a costly fence quote. That story is coming up next, and her numbers might genuinely surprise you. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a homeowner in Illinois. This is that story. A 62-year-old Zone 5 grower got a $7,200 contractor quote for a wood privacy fence, and instead planted 5 perennials from this very list. The same USDA zone-confirmed varieties you already watched for $120 total investment. By year 3, her screen stood 9 feet tall, and her neighbor asked what company installed it. She simply answered, "These are plants." Her $7,200 quote became a permanent screen for $120, saved for good. If you're still watching, this next plant is why I made this video, not for the algorithm, for the grower who stayed. Plant number 7, Fragrant sumac, a $24 shrub that turns fire engine red every fall. The most dramatic autumn privacy display in American gardening. And it never once needs pruning, spraying, or replacing. Picture a dense wall of trifoliate leaves shifting from green to blazing red, spreading naturally along a property line, filling in gaps year after year without a single dollar spent again. Zones 3 through 9, full sun to part shade, well-drained soil. USDA Plants Database documents Fragrant sumac's fire, red fall color as one of the most dramatic seasonal displays among native privacy shrubs, entirely free after planting. That same documentation confirms it spreads naturally via suckers, expanding the screen permanently with 0 additional purchases required. $124 shrub becomes an entire thicket within a few seasons, replacing thousands in fence repair costs. Most homeowners confuse it with poison sumac and remove it out of fear. That mistake destroys a completely safe plant. Distinct leaf shape and red, not white. Berries confirm it. A safe, fire-red thicket that spreads itself permanently wide, costing nothing more after the very first shovel goes into the ground. But the next plant on this list is the most misunderstood privacy perennial in all of America. 117 specialist bee species depend on it entirely. Plant number 8, tall goldenrod, the most misunderstood privacy perennial in America, $16, and sprayed as a weed by homeowners who have no idea 117 specialist bee species depend on it exclusively. Picture 6-foot golden spikes swaying in a dense colony, pollinators working every bloom at once, forming a privacy wall that expands wider on its own every single year. Zones 3 through 9, full sun, well-drained soil. University of Delaware Extension confirms 117 specialist bee species depend exclusively on solidago, the highest documented biodiversity value of any plant on this list. That same research debunks the hay fever myth entirely, since goldenrod pollen is too heavy to become airborne. $116 plant self seeds into a permanent colony worth more ecologically than any fence could ever be. Most homeowners spray it as a weed, unaware it is the single most biodiverse native plant in American gardening. That mistake destroys habitat that can never be replaced. 117 bee species protected permanently, and it cost only $16 while doing more for this yard than any fence panel ever will. But the next plant on this list does something no fence has ever managed either. It repels deer from your entire garden while it screens your yard at the same time. Plant number 9, giant hyssop, a $20 perennial that repels deer from your entire garden while it screens your yard. Something a $6,000 fence has never once managed to do for free. Picture aniscented 5-foot spires standing in a dense upright wall, bees working every bloom, the fragrance alone keeping deer from crossing into the yard behind it. Zones 4 through 8, full sun to part shade, well-drained soil. USDA Plants Database confirms giant hyssop's documented traditional medicinal use, alongside its confirmed deer resistance, a dual value no fence panel has ever offered. That same documentation confirms anise. Scented foliage actively deters browsing deer from adjacent garden beds year-round. One $20 plant delivers privacy, pest deterrence, and herbal value simultaneously, replacing separate costs a fence never touches. Most homeowners cut it back every fall, unaware the seed heads feed birds all winter. That mistake also removes next spring's self-seeded privacy expansion entirely. Leave it standing through fall, and it feeds birds and reseeds your privacy screen at the same time, doing two jobs a fence panel was never designed to do. The next plant on this list takes that even further. Its berries turn blue, then attract more than 40 bird species, becoming a living bird feeder disguised entirely as your privacy screen. Plant number 10, Gray Dogwood, a $28 shrub whose berries turn blue and attract more than 40 bird species, a living bird feeder disguised entirely as a 10-foot privacy screen. Picture white berry clusters shifting to deep blue against red stems, birds constantly moving through dense branching, forming 4 full seasons of changing interest a fence panel could never replicate. Zones 3 through 8, full sun to part shade, moist soil. Cornell University Extension confirms gray dogwood attracts more than 40 bird species through its berry cycle. A wildlife value zero fence panel has ever provided. That same research confirms 4-season interest. Spring bloom, summer leaf, fall berry, winter red stems, changing monthly at no added cost. One $28 shrub becomes a 10-foot living wall worth far more than any single fence panel. Most homeowners plant just one, unaware it spreads via suckers into a dense thicket. That mistake overwhelms small yards. So space must be planned before planting. 40 bird species fed, 4 seasons of changing color, and a privacy wall a fence panel could never keep up with in any way. The next plant on this list is the most fragrant privacy screen here. Its scent travels 20 feet on evening air, and your yard becomes the one place on the street people stop to ask what that incredible smell is. Plant number 11, Tall Garden Phlox, a $22 perennial whose fragrance travels 20 feet on evening air. The most sensory privacy screen on this entire list, and something a fence panel has never once been able to offer. Picture dense pink-purple bloom clusters, glowing in soft evening light, scent drifting across the yard. Neighbors stopping mid-walk to ask what that incredible smell is. Zones 3 through 8, full sun to part shade, moist soil. Penn State Extension confirms Tall Garden Phlox fragrance carries across 20 feet of open air, a sensory value zero fence panel has ever delivered to a yard. That same research recommends pairing it with taller privacy plants for a fully layered screen at multiple heights. $122 plant adds fragrance and depth to any combination on this list at almost no added cost. Most homeowners crowd it too tightly, cutting off air circulation between plants. That mistake guarantees powdery mildew, so 18 inches of spacing is required between each plant. Layered fragrance and depth, spaced correctly, and a sensory privacy experience no fence panel has ever come close to matching in any way. Plant 12 is still coming, the only native bamboo-like grass in eastern North America, and it creates an impenetrable privacy thicket in 3 years. Plant number 12, River Cane, a $28 native grass, and the only bamboo-like plant in eastern North America, forming an impenetrable thicket in 3 years that no fence company has ever been able to replicate for any price. Picture dense layered canes, rising shoulder-high and taller, filtered light breaking through a living wall, closing every remaining gap the previous 11 plants left open. Zones 5 through 9, full sun to part shade, moist soil. USDA Plants Database confirms river cane as the only native bamboo, like grass in eastern North America, historically used by Cherokee and Creek tribes for basket weaving and craft. That same documentation confirms rhizome spread forms an impenetrable thicket permanently, at zero cost after the first planting. $128 plant, becomes a dense living wall. No fence company can match at any price point. Most homeowners skip a root barrier. Unaware rhizomes spread aggressively into neighboring yards. That mistake requires an 18-inch barrier installed before planting begins. 12 plants, one impenetrable thicket, and a privacy wall no fence company on this earth can ever replicate at any price point. Before we close things out, 3 bonus facts almost no other source puts in one single place, starting with the exact layered combination that gives you full privacy. 3 things about permanent privacy almost no single source ever puts in one place. Layer miscanthus, elderberry, and tall garden phlox together for a screen that blooms fragrant in spring, screens fully through summer, glows fire red in fall, and stands structural all through winter. An 18-inch root barrier trench installed before planting keeps aggressive spreaders like river cane permanently contained for less than $40 in barrier materials. One plant spaced every 2 linear feet gives full screening density by year 2, so a 50-foot property line typically needs roughly 25 plants total across your chosen varieties from this list. 12 varieties combined for under $260 permanently replace a $3,000 to $9,000 fence that starts depreciating in value the very day it goes into the ground. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your own zone right now. Here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants to dollar. Zones 3 through 6, miscanthus, plume poppy, northern sea oats, fragrant sumac, and gray dogwood, 5. Confirmed cold hardy varieties totaling under $115 combined, permanently replacing a contractor fence estimate averaging $6,000. Zones 6 through 9, Maximilian sunflower, river cane, giant coneflower, elderberry, and tall goldenrod. 5 confirmed warm zone varieties totaling under $140 combined. Best planted now, so root systems establish fully before this growing season closes for good. Miss this window and your first real privacy result waits a full extra year, while a fence estimate only grows more expensive. You just discovered 12 perennials that replace a $6,000 fence permanently, growing taller, denser, and more beautiful every single year, while a fence quietly rots. If this changed how you think about privacy, hit like right now, so other homeowners find it before calling a contractor. Comment what your contractor quoted for a privacy fence. Then tell us honestly which of these 12 perennials you are planting first this season. Subscribe to PlanterLab, because serious growers never pay $6,000 for something that depreciates when they could plant something that compounds every year instead.